Hi everyone, hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for your continued support, okay? Really do appreciate it. Really nice feedback and warm comments that we're receiving in the Patreon as well. And thank you for your support across YouTube as well and Twitter as well. We're getting loads of subscribers on Twitter's now, followers, sorry, on Twitter. So it's all good, it's all golden. And as you can see right now with Bitcoin, our target was met at this head and shoulders, wasn't it? And what a monster short that was for any of you that followed that prediction the other day. To be fair, I think honestly, I think I was the only YouTuber that was calling 43k when the pattern that's in play is valid until invalidated away. And I was telling you, be careful because Bitcoin's on its way to 43k from this rising wedge pattern right here. It came down to 43k and then obviously lost that level of support right there, and obviously continued falling basically. So right now you can see that Bitcoin carried out that head and shoulders pattern as well, which we told you about in the previous Bitcoin update. You got the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder, and we said that when you lose a neckline, do go short, because when you lose support, go short. Okay, remember that. And you can see that was a whopping short trade right down there, and you can see absolutely met our target onto the T. Look at that, boom, look at that for a target. Okay, so remember, head and shoulders, it's the neckline down to from the head to the neckline, okay, of the support line of your neckline basically. And once you lose that, where you lose it, that's your target. And look at that, absolutely knob on. So congratulations to each and every one of you that took that short on, okay, from CoinsKid. Amazing short right there. That was a whopping short. Let's have a look at that. That was around about 33% short on Bitcoin. Unbelievable. You won't get that again. You won't get that again. You won't see that this side of Christmas, probably this side of this decade, to be honest with you. That was unbelievable. It was a setup, wasn't it? A Wyckoff distribution schematic, which we told you about as well, and we gave a link to unaccomplished video right there to raise awareness. So that's good. It's all golden effectively, and it's carried out that correction. But what I want to remind you of is that if we continue to not make headway and we lose a level of support, if we close the week below this particular level right here, you will see this 28,853 Bitcoin. Okay, you get something called dead cat bounces. Now when you have a dead cat bounce, it basically, you have a low, it comes up, makes a high, and then rolls over again to retest the support. Sometimes it can be lower, and in this instance, this is where you could actually see the roll down to 28,853. So do anticipate that. You need to see Bitcoin close above 39,463, and the reason is because that is the Fibonacci retracement right there. Okay, that's the golden ratio, and if you start to close below the golden ratio, you're creating a reversal wave, and I've already told you about that in a previous video. Okay, so this big mega reversal wave, you can see it's sort of started it effectively. It's come over, found level of support, bounced up, hit a level of resistance, which I will show you where that level of resistance is in a moment, and then you can see effectively if it doesn't continue to pick up, this is where you could see it roll over. And the confirmation to that fact is if you start to close below that on the weekly time frame, that's where you'll see a bit more of a larger correction for Bitcoin, coming back down to test this key level of support, which is this swing low, which is where the wave started from in the first place. Do you see that? And I think personally that is your rock bottom in this bull market for Bitcoin. I've not got a crystal ball, but I don't think you're going to go any lower than that if it does correct even more, so to speak. So yeah, so I think it was like the only YouTube channel, to be honest with you, showing this ABC correction for Bitcoin right there, and it was obviously the pattern as well. It was all tying up. Okay, there was no avoiding the fact that Bitcoin was rolling over. You had bearish divergence on the RSI there as well, so it was all a big tick and it couldn't be ignored, and effectively it's played out. But obviously this was a bit of a capitulation event, that the cascade of selling took us down to that particular level. Now why that level, you ask? Okay, why that particular level did it bounce? Because obviously you got the support off there. Do you see that? You got support off that previous swing low. But personally, I think it should have gone down to there. If I would have liked to have seen it bounce there, to be honest with you, because the fact is that it's not carried out a big reversal wave, but it should have. This is your reversal wave. Do you see that? So there's more of a confluencing factor that you are going to go lower and at least test this support once more, and that would be absolute fear in the market right there for Bitcoin and everyone included. In my opinion, optimal entry point right down there for Bitcoin. But again, it might not happen here. You might get some confidence in the market and it pick up and it absolutely bounce on from here. So like I've said to you, you do need to see a couple of things for Bitcoin in this continuation. Okay, and I'll show you exactly what they are. One is get above this, close above that on the weekly time frame, and not only that, you need to see yourself close above this particular level on the weekly. Okay, so you need to see Bitcoin close above the weekly 20 EMA, which is currently 46417. See this yellow line here? If Bitcoin can get above that and close, wow, That's amazing. That'd be like bull market full resumed, the dip's over, and Bitcoin's going to continue up to that 200k in that wave 5 that we've got anticipating here in the channel for Bitcoin. And it would mean that Bitcoin will cruise on and effectively, you know, claw back some of that Bitcoin dominance right there in the Bitcoin dominance chart, because it's already had a massive bounce in the dominance, and it's bounced right off our target as well, which we gave you in one of the Bitcoin videos from about 4 weeks ago as well. I'll show you. We did a Bitcoin dominance video, and we said that this is where we expect Bitcoin to bounce, okay, because it's a previous level of support. Do you see that? Look where it bounced. Boom. Straight on our target. This is a multi-year level of support right there. Do you see that? And that's why we gave you that target. So yeah, Bitcoin actually bounced there, and you can see from that particular correction right there, Bitcoin is currently up 10% against alts. Was currently up 14%. So this is a good sign for the bull market effectively. If we can get the continuation in Bitcoin and it doesn't close below those levels that I've just outlined to you, we could see Bitcoin beginning to start the second part of the bull run, and that sort of intermediate top that we've got, that we've just formed over the last couple of months, where Bitcoin topped out at 64k. Because with that is where you could see the march onwards and upwards in the second part of the bull run for Bitcoin, leading the show, like it has led the show anyway, to 200k effectively. So you need to see Bitcoin close the week out above those key levels, especially 3.9, okay, and I'll just remind you what that level is again. Now you need to see Bitcoin close the week out above this particular level right here, because if it doesn't, there's a high factor that you're going to go down to retest this, okay, and you are going to come down to that reversal wave, which is 28853, and in my opinion that would be the last sort of draw for Bitcoin. I'm seeing lots of technical analysis say that we're going to go to 20k, lower than, you know, sub 20k, the late teens, or lower 20ks. Personally, I can't see that at the moment. I don't see that. The absolute low I see, and again I could be wrong, I could be completely wrong, but so far I've been absolutely right with every single call. I'll be honest with you, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I was literally the only YouTuber telling you guys, okay, we've topped out here, we're going to roll to 43k and we're going to backtest it support, okay, and that's exactly what we did. But then we got the head and shoulders and we got the capitulation event, and that's where we're creating this reversal wave. Do you see this big reversal wave back down to the swing low? Because what's happening right now, and I'll tell you exactly what's happening for Bitcoin, you caught between a swing high and a swing low. Now unless you break the swing high, and this is where I said to you I'm going to show you where the level of resistance is. The level of resistance is right here on this swing high. Do you see that? Because this is what happens when you roll over and you lose a swing high. If you keep hitting your head on it, like I've told you so many times, keep hitting your head on something as resistance, you roll back to support, and the support is the swing low. This is your swing low down here. This is why I've given you 28975 around that sort of area. I'm going to zoom in on a daily so we can get a better angle of that. That is actually, where is it? Just there. So let's move this across here, just like this, just there. So that sort of area around there, okay, that's that head and shoulders pattern played out. So that's done. That can actually go right now. Get that out of here, remove that. So you can see that actually played out that pattern, okay, and like I said to you, you're looking at a reversal wave back down to where you come from, and that particular level right there is 28854. So put some cheeky bids in there for Bitcoin if you do start to see more of a rollover and a collapse, because right now you can see you're hitting your head on resistance, and this is exactly where Bitcoin is running into the resistance right there, and this is why it's struggling effectively. And this is why Bitcoin is struggling respectively to break this resistance, because it's the resistance of the swing high, because you're caught between them. Do you see this? You're caught between them, and until you come back down to test that support, you potentially keep hitting your head. That's where you're going to get that rollback and come back down to that level. So do anticipate that, because what you do need to see obviously is Bitcoin close above this particular level right here, okay, and I'll drop this level of resistance in. It's slightly higher than that. Look, see that? That's a swing high just there. You can see that's where it's sitting. So yeah, I'll drop that in as well, so I'll show you that key level of resistance. If you do start to see Bitcoin sort of close above that, then that'll be confidence of the fact that you are getting a bit of a march on as well. So do anticipate that you do need to see Bitcoin closing above that on a weekly as well, because that'll look relatively good to start making headway and get back above that 20 weekly EMA right there for Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is just zoom in on the hourly time frame and see if we can see some trades for you. Obviously there's one trade in front of you, okay. If you do start to see Bitcoin hit its head, then do anticipate that you are going to come down to this particular level here, and you're going to have a second rollover in the market, and it won't just be for Bitcoin, it will be for everything, okay. You're talking Link, Ethereum, the job lot, you'll see the job lot roll again, and it'll be pure capitulation and pure fear in the market, and that will be the absolute bottom, in my opinion, for crypto. It'll be the bottom, and before continuation in the second part of the bull run right there. So you're looking at another potential 30% short here for Bitcoin if it continues to hit its head and it starts to roll. Okay, so yeah, do anticipate that. Down to that level there, where I would put some cheeky bids in at 28,854 for Bitcoin. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I'm always going to make you aware of everything, like I made you aware of the head and shoulders, like I made you aware of the 63k rollback, and like I made you aware that we were rolling over and effectively creating that bearish divergence and looking to sort of come down, and we've done all that so far. So like I said to you in so many videos, not just Bitcoin, numerous videos, hit your head on resistance, 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 give up, roll back to support. Now you can see where your support is. You've got the low here, but your real low is the swing low of this swing high, and you can see that that's where it is, down at 28,854. And like I said to you, I don't necessarily think Bitcoin will go any lower than that. I've seen a lot of technical analysis saying that we're going to go down to the lower 20s, and again, if you did start to lose that swing low, okay, which I don't anticipate you will, I think that if you have one more capitulation event, one more sort of sell-off, this is where you'll find the support just there, because like I've said to you so many times, you lose swing highs, you bounce off swing lows, you lose a swing low, you bounce off swing highs, and you can see that's where another swing high is. So I'll drop it in just for good reason, that if you was to see Bitcoin start to roll over and close below the 28,854, then do anticipate a retest of this swing high where you would see the bounce, just like you got the bounce here, okay, off this swing high. So yeah, that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. What I'm going to do is zoom in on the hourly time frame right now and give you some trades, obviously. So looking at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame here, you can see that what's happening right here, and it's really easy to see, okay, you've lost the swing high, which I've shown you, okay, you've lost the swing high on the daily, which now you're caught between the swing high and the swing low. You've not tested the swing low, you wick down just above it. Okay, so you've invalidated the move at the moment. You're still caught in a pattern where you've got to test support at the swing high, swing low. And look at any chart, and that's what happens. You lose the swing high, you come down to the swing low. You lose that swing low, you go down to the next swing high. You lose that swing high, you go down to the next swing low. Do you see that? So what I'm trying to say is that I don't think Bitcoin's out of the woods right yet. I think that you may be looking at another correction for Bitcoin, and unfortunately the rest of crypto. And I do think that that's a secondary capitulation event where you would see that potential V recovery right here. Okay, I've not got a crystal ball, but so far every single call I've made for Bitcoin has been correct. I hope I'm wrong with this one, I do. But what I'm saying to you is I do see a secondary rollover Bitcoin and the crypto markets, and I think that is what would be the final capitulation event in this bull market, and that would be the absolute bottom. I am seeing calls, obviously, like I've just said to you, below 20k. I'm seeing low 20ks. I'm not seeing that at the moment. Unless you lose this swing low as support, then yeah, obviously I've given you that target down here, which is just here, okay. If you do start to see Bitcoin come down, I'm not saying it will either, but if you do start to see Bitcoin lose 28803, which I don't think it will, to be honest with you, then do put some cheeky bids in down at that 24281, because that's a previous swing high right on the daily. And that's what happens in so many instances. I've shown you before where you found rock solid support is on swing highs and swing lows, okay. And you can see that when Bitcoin lost his swing high right here, because it was support, lost support, you go short. You remember that? And you lose support, you go short down to the previous swing low. You can see it wicked down, and the reason it went down to there is because that was the pattern out of the head and shoulders. So it was basically fell short effectively of the correct pattern, the correct correction that it was trying to get to, and that's what it does. The pattern that's in play is valid until validated away, and at the moment you're caught between the swing high and the swing low. So unless you see Bitcoin break above 420027 and get above those levels that I've outlined to you on the weekly, okay, and start closing above the 20 EMA, you're still in a downtrend and you're still effectively looking to roll over, and unfortunately it will drag the market down with it. So do anticipate, okay, that if you don't see Bitcoin close above 42027, then you could start to roll over, because you can see it in a minute, you're sort of consolidating a little bit, trying to make its mind up. You are above the EMAs, which is good on the hourly time frame, okay, so that's relatively good. You've had this pick up, you are making these higher lows, which is good. I'll show you this little pattern you've got on the go for Bitcoin just there. Do you see this? So it's some kind of ascending triangle right here that that you've come into like this. You see this? It is a bullish continuation pattern, and you do have a little breakout from there. So if you was to see Bitcoin sort of pick up and break out of this apex right now, you could see a nice little upside to this particular level right here of resistance. And I will drop that right into you right now. And that is that resistance of when you lost the neckline of the head and shoulders. Do you remember that? You lost the neckline, you started to back test as resistance, but then you rolled over, you lost the swing high, and you rolled over, projectively coming down to the swing low. But you didn't quite make that. Okay, you fell short. So this is where you could see, if Bitcoin does something like this, okay, it fails to break out of here and get above this 4207, comes up, rolls over effectively, this is where you could see that the capitulation event for Bitcoin again, and you would be looking at, from this moment right here, another 30% correction for Bitcoin, okay, which would be, you know, a monstrous short, and it would be that secondary correction, almost like a double bottom, so to speak, but a lower low. I would imagine that that's the absolute low for Bitcoin in this market right now, before continuation at wave 5 up to 200k. And I've seen a lot of comments as well, like, you know, you're delusional if you think you're going to get 200k. Well, I was saying we were going to get to 20k at $2,800 a couple of years ago, and it happened. So no, I'm not delusional. I just see things, and I'll always tell you what I see. So that's why I'm calling for a 200k Bitcoin right here for Bitcoin. Okay, not necessarily. It might not happen this year. It might do. We don't know. But we're looking at a two-part bull run, and this is an intermediary top. Right now, we're going to come back, test support, hold, continuation. I don't see us falling any lower than that, and I don't see those sub 20ks that people are calling for. But obviously, I've not got a crystal ball. But if we do start to close below 28803, then do put some cheeky bids in at that level there, which is swing high. Okay, but personally, I'm not seeing it. Okay, and to invalidate all this, all we got to do is break these highs. Okay, so if you do start to see Bitcoin march on here and sort of break this out of this ascending triangle that it's got on the cards for Bitcoin, then yeah, great continuation, because that would actually see us close the week out. Hopefully, don't forget we've got to close by Monday. We've got to close above 39498. We'll close above that. Beautiful, because it means we're not closing below the golden ratio, and we're getting the pickup and potentially get back above the 20 EMA there on the weekly time frame, start to close above that, and that's where you're looking at this being the V-shaped recovery right there for Bitcoin. But so far, you know, you've got to watch what's in front of you, and at the moment you're caught between the swing high and the swing low. You've not tested the swing low yet. So in my book, in years of charting and trading experience, I always see when swing highs get broken and it hit resistance, it comes back to the swing low for support. So this is why I'm telling you right now that you may potentially see that if Bitcoin fails to make any headway and fails to break these key levels of resistance right here. This is where you could see that secondary capitulation event for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's basically Bitcoin. I don't want to scare anybody, but I always just tell people what I see. And you know, if it does come down to there, wow, what an opportunity. You know, what an opportunity to get involved in Bitcoin, because look at, this was an opportunity for those of you who managed to get some bids in down there. You know, you're currently up a whopping, where are we? Let's have a look at this. Where are we for Bitcoin? Just there. You're currently up a whopping 35% for Bitcoin. It's amazing. So yeah, and unfortunately, if that did happen for Bitcoin, it would drag the entire crypto market down a bit. So do anticipate it effectively. So what I'm trying to say, if you do start to see Bitcoin roll over again, then do anticipate a lovely little short down there, okay, of around, we're looking at around 30% for Bitcoin, okay. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but at the moment, like I said to you, you're caught between the swing high and swing low. And if you don't get through the swing high as resistance right now at 42,027, you're going to roll over and you're going to test the swing low, and it is that simple. Okay, so take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that update. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay tuned, and I hope you have a really good weekend. I'll try and get another update on Bitcoin tomorrow. As you can see, I'm sorry there's not many videos out today. I'm just mega busy at the moment. We've got so much going on, but I really do appreciate everybody's support. Okay, and thank you for your support and continued sharing across the social media and everything that you do to support CoinsKid. Big thumbs up to each and every one of you, and obviously if you're not involved in the Patreon, do get involved into that community right there, and a big thumbs up to each and every one of you is providing support in there. So it's great, it's golden. I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.